Hi, I'm Helen. I'm the Director of Platform Experience at an agency called PushUp. We're about 60 people. We focus a lot on WordPress, but especially publishing experiences for publishers. I'm going to be talking about one of our first forays into the product space, a little thing we call PushUp. These are push notifications for WordPress. Who's used push notifications on Mac OS X? Maybe. I don't think it's like a huge thing. It's definitely a little bit of a niche product, but what it is when you run Safari on Mac OS X Mavericks, a website can prompt you and say, do you want to receive push notifications? Well, I can't compete with that like at all. A website can prompt you and ask you, do you want push notifications from this website when they want to send you one? So I'll be giving you a little demo of that, but we've got it running on a bunch of publishers now. We've got TechCrunch, DragonFest, GigaOM, a bunch of other properties have already signed up, and also we have lots of individual users, and especially like our 10-up teammates, we kind of dog food our own stuff. So far we've pushed over 70 million individual notifications to over 200,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool, and a lot of scaling goes into that. So why use PushUp, right? Why this like instant notification thing for a website? We're talking about instant engagement, right, and publisher control. So instead of somebody getting your latest and greatest through an RSS feed in another feed reader that could strip your ads, doesn't get the beautiful design or the Chrome of your website. This way you send them a notification and it takes them to your website, and it's instant. Almost nothing else really is instant. It's native to both the publishing and reading environments. So as a publisher, this is super native to WordPress, and I'll be showing you. It is all of like a checkbox, really. And in terms of the reading environment, yeah, it's currently it's specific to one browser, one operating system. We have plans in the future to expand that, but it is native to what that user is accustomed to, right? So the more native it is, the easier it feels, the easier it is for them to get into it. There are no setup hassles on your end. In order to send push notifications, you have to sign up for an account with Apple. They have to provision it. They have to set up all the permissions. We take care of that for you, and then you don't have any scaling problems, right? So like a publisher like 9to5Mac, sending out hundreds of thousands of notifications every time they publish a post, that's hard to scale up and make run without taking down web servers and that sort of thing.
Notification is a text, is that what you're saying?
I'll demo what a notification is exactly, but yeah, it's a thing that appears on your desktop. Some other features of PushUp, there are real-time analytics in your WordPress dashboard, so you get to see it right where all the rest of your publishing controls are. You can sign up for one account, and we can provision multiple domains on that one account. So let's say you're a smaller agency, and you just want to set up like one kind of bulk account, managing that for all of your clients. You can do that. You can pay as you go based on usage. It's not that you can, you do. You pay as you go based on your usage, including a free tier. You can get 100 push notifications per month for free forever. And the only thing that there is a one-time $14.99 setup fee, and that's really just to cover the fact that we do all the legwork with Apple to set that up for you. There are no strings or no hoops. If you don't push any notifications in a month, you don't have to pay for anything. If you're, like if you cover like March Madness and you only push during like those 3-4 weeks of March Madness, turn on the plugin during those 3-4 weeks, and when you're done with that, turn off the plugin. Nothing else. We're not going to bother you. You don't have to pay anything. Nothing involved in that. So I'll give you a quick demo of how PushUp works. Okay, so the PushUp plugin itself is available in the WordPress.org plugin repo. It's a free plugin because what you're actually paying for is the part that pushes the notifications. So if you just go to your WordPress dashboard and you search for PushUp, you'll see our plugin, PushUp Notifications. I already have it installed, so I'm just going to activate it. Maybe. And after I activate it, you get this like jetpack-esque banner telling you to activate your account. And when you sign up for an account through the PushUp website, once we finish provisioning your account with Apple and with the domain that you provide, you'll get your username and your API key. So I'll enter that. Yeah, I don't know where that is. Okay.
Make sure.
It only works on my local development environment, so it's not going to get you anywhere. So now that I've entered that, it checks, make sure all my stuff is valid, and that my domain, which is my local 10up.dev, has been provisioned. It gives me some stats, who's accepted my notification prompt, who's declined them. This is all myself doing that. How many push requests and how many notifications have been sent. Then you can do a little more setup. So you can say, who's sending you this notification. So I want to call this my PushUp test bed. And then this is kind of like a little teaser prompt for users. So let's call this breaking. Okay, and you can set your own icon, and you'll see what this looks like. But a little icon pops up, so you can brand it, and it's totally white labeled. Like it looks native to Mac OS 10. So we'll activate this. Okay, and that's it. So then, as a user, as a reader, if I go to Safari, I'm on Mavericks, and I head to the site, I get a little prompt. It says, the website PushUp Testbed would like to send me push notifications in my notification center, and it tells me where I can configure them. If you've never used a notification center on Mac OS 10 Mavericks, I have to allow it first. So you can disallow it, which means it won't ever prompt you again, or you can allow it. So I'm going to allow it because I'm demoing this. This is your notification center. Calendar, if you're in chats, that sort of thing, these notifications will appear there. So I've accepted them. So then what happens as a publisher, and then the really cool thing about push notifications is that you don't have to have Safari open to get those push notifications, right? Once you've visited that site with Safari for the first time and you've allowed those notifications, they're now stored at the system level on your computer. They're not specific to the browser anymore. So I can quit out of Safari. Okay, and then as a publisher, I've got something really exciting happening. So I'm writing a blog post, something really crazy is happening. Okay, so what we have here, this is all there is, like I told you. There's just a checkbox to push a desktop notification. I think you can have this on by default. We, by default, don't have it on because it's kind of a choice and a part of your editorial workflow as far as publishing goes. So I hit publish, and as soon as it's published, I get this desktop level notification. Breaking, something really crazy is happening. And if I click that notification, pulls up Safari and goes straight to that post right on my site. So that's pretty cool. It's super instant. I personally am surprised all the time by how fast it is. And then once that happens, you get to go, as a publisher, you can head back to your PushUp settings page, and it lets you know. Now I've had 3 accepted subscribers, 2 who declined, how many push notifications I've made, all of that. So that's what push notifications are. To turn them off, again, you can go to your Safari preferences, and there's a notifications tab, and anything you've allowed or denied in the past will show in this list. And then you can kind of change your settings there, or you can remove all of them if you want to get reprompted, because I probably will have to do this demo again at some point. So that's push notifications. If you use an iPhone, I think you're also used to this concept where it pushes notifications straight to your phone. Currently, we've been focusing on this as sort of like our version 1. We have plans in the future for mobile, other browsers, all that sort of thing. So, but this is what we've got. right now. It's a very new thing. And I'll go back to this. Okay, so PushUp, what I was just showing you, that was publishing a post, right? And that's what a lot of sites are about. You know, like I mean, even a plugin developer site. You know, they write a blog post telling you about their newest release or what's going on, and you can get those. But sometimes sites aren't really about fresh blog posts at all. You know, there are plenty of sites that don't have blogs at all whatsoever. That's totally okay. There are plenty of things you can still run push notifications for. Update notifications for services. So let's say you run like a maintenance service for people's sites. You can push a notification letting somebody know that their site's been updated. You could do real-time alerts. So if you do something like, I don't know, flight tracking, or again, like March Madness, you can push out alerts for that kind of thing. This one's kind of a funny idea, something like an expired coupon, right? So there are lots of like coupon sites out there. So like if something's expiring or has expired, you could, you know, possibly push a push notification for that. Of course, you want to keep, you know, your user in mind too, and their level of annoyance, right, with the number of notifications that you're pushing. PushUp, we've got some stuff going on for developers too. We're developers making stuff for developers as well as users. We use actions and filters, just like WordPress. You know, do action, do filter. For example, we have like PushUp allowed post types. There's documentation in progress happening, and I think there are always hooks being added as we find the need for them. What I've got below is kind of like a proof of concept. I actually didn't test this, but it's a proof of concept for the aforementioned coupon expiration kind of thing. So what this does is it hooks into, at the bottom here, for the developer-minded, an action called publish to draft. This is actually an action that takes one post status to another post status. So we're taking something that was published that's becoming a draft. So in this case, I'm imagining that my site has an expiration date on posts, and once that expiration date is hit, it takes a published post and it turns it back into a draft. So I'm hooking into that moment where it takes a published post and turns it back into a draft. I'm checking what kind of post type it is, if it's a coupon. If it's not, I bail. And then I check to see if the PushUp notifications send message function is something that I can use, right? So if it doesn't exist, or if it's not accessible anymore, then you won't like trigger errors. If it is accessible, then I set the title, make sure it's short enough for the push notification itself. That's the second line that appears, I think. And then I set the URL to be the actual homepage URL instead, because if it's an expired post, you don't want to link to the actual post itself because you're going to get a 404. And then what I do is I send the push notification itself, saying coupon expired with the title. And then there's an action that says check out current deals. So the notification you originally saw is what's called a banner. They also have what are called alerts. This is what your calendar does. It sets up an alert that sticks there and then has buttons on it that say like okay and cancel. So you can specify button text, and this just says like check out current deals or whatever. And then you just pass it the URL. So that's something like as a developer you can do. So as a developer you can hook in, and again, if you're not post-focused, kind of tailor it to what you need to do. So that's PushUp, and not Push It, but you should see our 404 page. It's my favorite thing on the planet. You can find us online. We're at pushupnotifications.com if you want to sign up. We're also on Twitter at pushupnotify. 10up is our company, 10up.com. And just for you, we have a discount code, WPNYC 2014, and this will cut your setup fee down to 99 cents until Thursday. And so it means for like $1, you could get 100 push notifications each month forever for free. Let's push up. Yay! Do we have any questions?
I guess the answer to this is no. Is there any support for like Linux or Windows?
There isn't currently, because we focused on that Mavericks like system level notification. What we're looking into now are things like Chrome, I think Safari. I'm not sure about Firefox, but they support HTML5 like in-browser notifications.
Okay.
So we're looking into that as kind of like the next stage.
So then this land essentially $15. That's not just for Safari, like it's any browser you can support in the future.
Yeah, for anything.
Great.
Yeah, anything that we go into in the future. Yep.
I noticed you guys probably use the WordPress post submit box misc action, and I was wondering, is that your favorite hook in WordPress?
It's actually, it's not my favorite hook in WordPress because I think that meta box is very cluttered. But I do like that it's there, and I think that when you have a one-off checkbox, it's better to put it there than make an entirely separate element with Chrome all around it. That takes up a lot of space, especially if it's status related, right? So then it's directly related to the box. Yes.
What is your favorite hook?
My favorite hook in WordPress. I think it's one of the ones that I patched. I don't think I committed it, but there are two of them. They're edit form after title and edit form after editor. And they're hooks that print things into the edit screen either after the title box or after the editor without the meta box Chrome around it. There are a lot of sites that do things that either don't use the editor at all, or kind of need things between the title and editor, like the subtitle, or even sites that do things kind of more like data entry. So then you just have like the title field and then a bunch of other fields without like extra stuff around it, because you don't need to drag and drop boxes around, right? Because meta boxes are collapsible and movable and turn offable and all that kind of stuff. So if you print stuff into that part of the screen, then user can't go messing with it. Yeah. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to mention about PushUp that I thought was really cool about things that our team worked on from like a PHP and systems perspective is what they built to run the notifications part itself. They built a PHP job system that handles things in batches, and I think there's a load balancer, and they never seem to exceed like a 20% load on them, which I think is pretty cool considering the number of notifications that are going out at any given time. I mean, last night when we first started putting together numbers, like 24 hours ago, we were at 68 million push notifications, and just now we hit 71, I think, right before we started. So it's a lot going through.
Cool, that's a great thing.
Thank you.
So much.